Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Girl in Woods. She may be able to escape the woods, but she'll never escape her mind.
Written and directed by Jeremy Benson, starring Jeremy London, Charisma Carpenter, and Juliet Reeves, Girl in Woods is about Grace, who at the very young age of 7 saw her dad commit suicide. She's now grown up and she's going on a trip with her boyfriend. They go to a cabin in the woods, they decide to go for a hike, and her boyfriend ends up accidentally killing himself, leaving her stranded by herself in the woods. So what do we like?
This film is a roller coaster of a ride for your mind. Pure psychological horror. You don't really know what reality is and what isn't reality from start to finish in this film.
And because of all these different tricks and stuff, we're not just stuck with Grace in the woods, which was something that I feared when we were getting into this movie, but luckily they were able to kind of jump into her mind, go back to the past, and just get little tidbits of what really happened in her childhood. And in doing so, it also helps with the pacing of the film, so it's really nice to get a little break, get a little action in there, and also provide us with a few little scares.
With all the flashbacks that we saw, this is where the film really plays with your mind, because you're trying to put all the pieces together because you think that what happened in the past is one thing, but they slightly change it throughout the film, and it has you wondering what is true and what isn't true. So the mystery behind it is very intriguing.
Talking a little bit about the technical aspect of the film, the cinematography was really well done. And they did some pretty neat tricks where they would have slow pans of the camera from Grace to another Grace.
The style that the director chose when lighting and doing the makeup and costume design with Charisma Carpenter's character, with how she's lit and how her makeup is creating contrast between what her character is, what Grace's character is, and what the father's character is. So they've kind of divided the frame into 3 separate sections, which is beautifully done.
This is a little strange to say considering that our main character only wears one outfit the whole time. I thought they did a great job with her look because as the film progresses, she's constantly getting dirtier and dirtier, bloodier at times, sunburnt. So from the costume to the makeup, they really did a great job keeping continuity from scene to scene.
To touch more on Juliet Reeves, she did a good job playing almost 3 different characters. The way that the 3 of them interacted was very believable.
Now let's move on to our dislikes. In contrast to what John said about Juliet Reeves' acting, I did have issue with the dialogue.
It's a good plan. It'll work. We made it here from the cabin in 1 morning. That means I'm 1 morning away.
And the delivery of the dialogue. I think she did a great job kind of portraying emotions when she wasn't speaking personally. And there's just something off about her voice. But I'm pretty sure it's because it was recorded in a studio afterwards. And it's a little difficult to match the intensity of certain situations or over-intensifying things that wasn't quite acted as crazy.
I am thinking I saw the fucking map and it said straight that way! Straight that way, if you go a little to the left, is gonna turn into way the hell over there.
There are some loose ends that really weren't explained in this film with Grace's past, in particular the story with her grandfather, because we kind of get a full understanding of who her mom and dad were. With her grandfather, they kept alluding to something more, but they didn't really give us what at least I was hoping for.
And he just kind of popped in a few different scenes. We didn't really understand the relationship between Grace and her grandfather other than he gave her a bike. There are a couple small nitpicky things which kind of come in the form of Grace's decisions in the movie. And I get that she's going crazy and she's progressively getting more nuts as the movie goes on, but there's a lot of scenes in this movie where she's worried about drinking, but she's always near a stream. So there's no reason that she should ever be running around hoping to find a water bottle or anything, or like get water from a leaf. It's like, it doesn't matter. You've been drinking this whole time.
There's some odd things in this film, especially because like we see her sleep multiple nights, and then they establish like you've only been in the woods for 3 days. No, we've seen you sleep 5 times.
Yeah, they definitely had some inconsistencies when it came to the duration of her time in the woods. Because a lot of things kind of happen. And there's no way that all of that stuff would have happened in like a day or two. There's no way that after one day, I'm going to turn into a cannibal. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings.
Girl in Woods is an excellent psychological horror. This film really plays with your mind and it keeps you guessing from beginning to end. You really want to know what Grace's backstory is, what the truth behind her past is, and whether what's happening in the woods is real or just her mind playing a trick on her. It is a well-paced film that will keep you interested even though it's just a girl lost in the woods. Though there are a few loose ends that I wish would have been tightened up, but other than that, the story itself is really enjoyable, and I really recommend that you guys go and check this out. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this 4 smooth dancing grandpas out of 5.
Girl in Woods was a great indie film. It was a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I'm happy that it played out the way that it did. We had lots of different twists, and I really liked all the different flashbacks kind of changing the pace of the story and adding more mysterious elements to the film in general. I thought it was shot extremely well, and Juliet Reeves really held her own when it came to kind of running the show for this film because she's in it for 90% of the time by herself. So she did a great job there. I do have issue with some of her dialogue and her character's decisions, but overall, this was a very well done film. So I'm gonna give this 3.5 creepy dads out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you wanna check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.